PAT Louisiana's finest. I say, who that? R.I.P. Tom Benson. Shout out to the whole Who That Nation. Now who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. I say who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. Oh, who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. I say who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. You got that fever? Yeah, yeah, that fever for the flavor. Got that flavor? Yeah, yeah, that flavor for the funk. You got that fever? Yeah, yeah, that fever for the flavor. Got that flavor? Yeah, yeah, that flavor for the funk. I got that fever, my people. See, we not equal, my people. I'm like that dog Saint underneath the steeple, my people. Got Drew Brees, he the feature, and our defense the sequel. The D-line and linebackers, man, they coming to reach ya. Make enemies some believers, cause we overachievers. DBs see 50-50 balls and we call them keepers. Y'all come follow this leader, cause Sean Payton will teach ya.
Saints Talk listeners, what's up? We back. It is another episode of Saints Talk. I'm your man, Kevin Washington. I'm here with Nick Underhill, as always. Every time we see Nick, guys, he's got a new background going on. I don't know what's going on. My man is like the most mobile person I've ever met. But
I'm in a spot. Look, the NOF studio aspect of the house isn't done yet. We get the contract over here today, so we're getting the little studio area built out. It won't be done probably until February, March. So, I'm just trying to find the best spot in the house. We're temporary. We're moving around. Maybe next time I'll go in front of the Christmas tree. I don't know, man. But we're trying some different things out, and I'm just trying to have a decent backdrop. So we hit it in front of the front door.
And, well, listen, I will say this: the subscribers know that last time I had to watch you cuddled up in a hotel bed with your covers over you.
Nah,
so this is way better than that. So I will take that front door every day of the week. Man, listen, you guys have no idea what I deal with. Nick is a torturer in a lot of different ways, verbally, the visuals. It's a lot. So I like the front door. I like the design. It looks good to me. I'm rocking out with it. We also rock out with you guys. You know who else we rock out with?
We rock out with Daniel Sant for sure.
I rocked out with Daniel Sant this week. We had a call. I'm just saying, man, you guys are. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say. Get a man.
Well, I know what to say. Are you a business owner or a person needing some guidance with your daily accounting? Daniel Sant CPA can help you get your finances in order. They provide relevant accounting information, detailed analysis, and clear communication in a timely manner. SantCPA.com or call them today, 318-321-2765. That link is in the show notes. So go down there, hit it, get the number, hit them up, send them an email, whatever you got to do. Also, check out our guys at Firehouse Subs on Veterans Boulevard. As I say every single time, amazing people doing amazing things for the community. They support everybody's cause. They put down money to help feed the homeless, all that stuff. So you go there, you buy a sub, you're legitimately doing something to help another person, most likely because they're always doing great things for the community. And last but not least, BUSR.com. Our sponsors over there. They're offering a variety of sports betting, casino, and even horse racing. You can enjoy features like live betting and their prop builder. If you are looking to bet on your favorite teams this season, definitely check them out using my link, busr.com/NewOrleans, or click the link in the show notes and claim a bonus of up to $1,500. They're doing a 150% bonus with the code HOLIDAYS21. So check that out. All that's in the show notes. And remember to support our sponsors at BUSR by placing your bets. Simply click the link, get your bonus, and make your picks.
There you go, guys. If you need a sub, if you need a sub, if you need a CPA, or you need to bet some money, we're telling you guys where to show up at. So there you go, man. We show love to the people that show love to us, and we show love to people that's doing good things to the community. Our sponsors are holding it down both ways. So shout out to them. All right, let's get into some football. So it's been, it must 6 weeks since we recorded a pod. They lost 5 straight, and you add extra weeks. So it's been a while since we had a chance to come on here and talk about a win. So, a little bit different pod. It's probably gonna be a few more of you guys here listening to it live. Then we got our old faithfuls that just come. Saints, some of the people I was DMing some of you guys, Saints could lose 50-0. You guys are like glued to the TV waiting for the pod, waiting for me to make y'all feel better. I'm like, nah, you're gonna leave here worse. But they won, and we're here to talk about it. So let's start at the top. The quarterback, There's a film study article on the site, guys. You guys know where to find it. Post game article is already live. The film study article is it went live today, so go check that out if you want to kind of get a deep dive into what happened, mostly offensively. This one, because this one really focused on Taysom, which is where it should have been. So we didn't really learn anything new about the defense, but just high level, Nick. Like, what did you see from Taysom? Were you impressed? Is this an improvement? And can they do some things with him going forward for the rest of this year?
I mean, I think he did what he needed to do in this game. I think he played well, considering that they got a lead. They protected the lead. He fumbled twice. Outside of the fumbles, I thought he kind of
Oh
did what
man.
he needed to do. He made quick decisions. I thought he ran well. I think he made a good effort to get out and run when there was nothing there. And I thought a couple of those plays were pretty important. So when things are clean, if he can play like that, I think generally it would
Hmm.
be okay. I don't think you can fumble twice, again, putting those aside, but
Yeah.
the way he threw the ball, he didn't really push anything down the field. He took safe throws. He just did what he had to do to win that game. And um, for the most part, I thought it was a pretty solid, decent performance. I think the bigger test, and I think that would be fine probably against Carolina, Atlanta, Miami if they get a lead and they play that style of football. I think it works. I think the
Hmm.
Saints were smart to play to their strength.
Their
We
strengths
kind
and
of were
things,
talking
yeah.
about that coming into the game, that they needed to really try not to pass the ball too much and find a way to win like they did early in the
Too many
season.
passes this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and look, it worked. It worked in this game. It's
It did,
ugly.
it
It's
did,
it's
it
not
did.
it's not always the funnest version of football to watch, especially with the comparison to previous eras of Saints football.
Oh man.
But it worked. So I think this game's going to be a bigger test. I'd be surprised if they get into a situation where they don't have to throw to win at some point in this game against the Bucks. So if the game plays like that, I think that maybe it's a little bit harder. We'll get a better read of the decisions that Taysom's making and how he kind of handles those situations. I thought against Dallas that's where he started to get into a little bit of trouble. Last year against Philadelphia, I think that's where he started to get into a little bit of trouble. So it'll be interesting to see how he maintains in this upcoming game.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Last topic first. What do they need, what needs to happen for them to beat Tampa, in your opinion? Then, like, so because we know that this game plan, I mean, it might work. I mean, heck, but I don't know, they might shut the Bucks down, right? They match up to this team really well. So, just from what you've seen, I've kind of seen the Bucks play the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think there's a chance in hell that this game plan works, but it's possible, right? But yeah, just looking at this game, we know the Bucks, right? I don't think we're gonna learn anything new about Tampa or New Orleans between now and the game. So, like, what would need to happen for them to beat this team?
I think you just kind of said it. I think they got to find a way defensively to just kind of sequester
Limit them.
the
Yeah.
effort. Kind of suffocate them and make sure they aren't scoring points. I think it's going to take turnovers. It's really not like a super deep answer here. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
they got to find a way to stop the Bucks from scoring and be able to just get a lead and find a way to sit on it. And I think that's when they're at their best. If they can get a lead and they can sit on it, defense usually performs well enough. Offense does enough to kind of hold on to that and squeeze on to dear life and just kind of grip it and hold on. And that's
Yep.
how they've basically won every game this year. Even the Green Bay game was it was like the high end, it was the Louis Vuitton version of that game plan, but it was still within that game plan. And
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
that's how they won that game. So they got to find a way to just not allow the Bucks to get out on offense and score points. And it's not a deep answer. That's just really what they have to do. And that's how this team is built to win. They have a good running game when Alvin's out there and everybody's blocking well. They have a good defense that can keep points off the board. They don't have the greatest passing offense. So if you get into a game where you're looking at the passing offense to make a play to deliver, it's not going to happen probably. And it was more likely with Jameis. It's not a knock on Taysom. It's less likely Taysom with mallet finger is going to be the guy to lead you there, and
Yeah.
he might. You never know. He might, but you're placing a bet if you're going to busr.com and placing a bet. Like, you aren't going to place it on him to be the guy to do that. So that's just kind of how it.
Ten
How I
ten.
think it's going to play out, and how I think they got to play to win.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that take. I don't think there's anything really complicated about, well, kind of predicting what it's going to take to beat Tampa. Uh, you know, run game is, Tampa has a really good run defense, so you have to your offensive. The best thing that you do offensively, which is run the ball, I wouldn't call it a strength, but it's what you do best. It has to be better than their strength, which is running the ball, right? Ideally, you would love to attack Tampa, in the pass game. They don't have a pass rush that scares you, and they don't have corners that scare you, right? They have really good linebackers, and those are guys you maybe want to try to avoid. But I think it's kind of a bad matchup for the Saints offense because, like I said, what you do best is their strength. But you got to figure out a way to be, more better than average there. Obviously, even though you're not a good passing team, you got to figure out how to get some plays in the passing game. Like, I don't know. I think they have to I think they need like some explosive play or something. They need some easy point somehow. I don't know if it's a special teams touchdown or something, but I don't think there is any universe where they can go toe to toe with this team. Just offensively, the Bucks, they just have too many weapons, man. I don't care what defense you have. It's those guys, they just wear on you. And the thing that kind of worries me about it is when the Saints fail to possess the ball consistently, then that is twofold, right? Because now you have less opportunity to score, and the Bucks are you giving Tom Brady the ball more, right? And that's just kind of recipe for disaster. So unless the defense is absolutely lights out, and I want to ask you about the pass rush, but I think that has to be better. I just it's gonna be some tough sledding there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I I, I don't want to. In fact, you know what? Hey guys, just give you guys a heads up. Nick he went in like great detail about like how Taysom is, kind of using his legs as a check down. It's a really good read. It's a really good read. It's really good read. Pretty technical, and it's explained out pretty well. And so go to the site and check that out because it'll kind of give you a lot of insight on to some of the things that he is doing better, right? I mean, you guys have heard us talk on here about how Taysom, he wasn't always the best runner, even though he has the physical skill set. And, maybe that is changing a little bit. So go to NewOrleans.Football. If you're not subscribed, what you doing here, man? Come on. Go check it out. It's a good read. It's a good read. So did you notice a an upgrade from last week to this week in the protection with Armstead back? And I'm guess they're playing the Jets, but it did seem in some ways that the pocket was like a little bit cleaner than what I had seen it previously.
Yeah, I thought most of the stuff was coming from the other side. Honestly, I thought the right side had some issues. The left side was pretty strong throughout the game. So um, that wasn't necessarily a huge surprise. So yeah, I think they protected a little bit better. I think that helped with the running game too.
Yeah, yeah,
They started getting some stuff off to that side of the field, especially early in the game. There were a handful of runs to the left
yeah,
side. So
absolutely.
um, yeah, I thought overall the protection was a little bit better. Again, it is the Jets. I think it helps that the guys were able to get open pretty quickly too, so that there wasn't a whole lot of standing in the pocket. There's a lot of first read passes, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um, overall, though, yeah, I thought it was pretty good, pretty clean. I thought he played really well. I mean, his first game back,
Oh man,
and
yeah,
I thought he looked really good right away. All
yeah,
aspects. Getting Ramczyk back would be a huge benefit, but we'll
yeah,
we'll see how
yeah.
that goes.
Yeah, yeah. I thought Ruiz was like, I thought he was better this game. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember just off the top of my head seeing him have an egregious pressure that he gave up. I need to go back and look. I was kind of paying more attention to him, and I think he's a struggling player, but I thought this game he kind of, he showed a little bit better. And I think again it goes to, you're playing the Jets, and that's not the most talented team, but it would be nice for him to kind of build up off this game because I do think he's someone that they absolutely need. They just need him to revert to the mean at this point, offensively. So you mentioned Ramczyk. Is there any chance? I mean, I don't know what's going on with the guys. He out for the year, or I mean, I guess it's the same question about all these guys. Peyton Turner. I
I don't
don't.
know.
It's just like dead silence on. And I don't know who's. They got this information stored in a vault somewhere. No one's leaking anything. um.
I don't think Ramczyk's out for the year because they probably would have put him. You know,
Uh,
so I I'd be surprised if he is. I mean, there has to be some type of hope that that's going to be a sooner than later thing. So,
Yeah.
um, I've seen Peyton Turner like around, just around in general. So, I mean, maybe I don't know what that means, honestly. I mean, it just means that he's living. So we know he's living, he's around. So that's good. And just kind of being at the facility that usually indicates that like you're at a point in your rehab where you're back around the team. Like for instance, like Jameis is away right now. I think he's in Alabama, and I think that there's like an expectation that he'll be back at some point before So you hit a point and you come back. Mike Thomas is the first surgery he was training in Philadelphia. I don't know where he's at after the second one.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, once that got better, he was with the team in Texas. So I mean, that's just kind of usually how those things go. So like when you're around, I think that's usually a decent sign about where you're at in your recovery.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. It's like, this guy. I feel like he showed some flashes at training camp, and he had the first game where he was active and he played pretty well. And it's like you need to have bad reps to be a good player, unless you're Micah Parsons, and I don't know who this guy is. Like he's some reincarnated pass rusher or something like that. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, man, because I think he's a player that would have benefited, from having some more reps. And so, but yeah, it is what it is. One player that is become maybe the most or one of the most important players on offense is Nick Van Ness. Like I
Oh
thought,
yeah, man.
go, go.
He's looked good. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, look. When they signed him, he said that Sean Payton told him that he saw him as more of a receiving option than he had been in
Mm-hmm.
other places in his career. The guy never drops passes. I mean, he has extremely sure hands, but like he just never really got put into a situation where he was allowed to be a receiving threat. And honestly, I don't know if I think the situation helps him get into some situations. I think that
Yeah.
he becomes a higher option in the the
He's above Aesop Winston. No disrespect to Aesop, but yeah, they need someone to catch the ball, and he's one of the guys.
yeah. So I mean, look, he's been he gets open, he makes plays, he's good in the screen game. I think he had a catch over the middle. Like he's looking
Yeah.
okay. I mean, he's a decent option. I don't know if that's who you want to be your number one receiving tight end, but
Right.
is in a proper slotting of a tight end depth chart. I think there's value there, and I think that if your blocking guy can give you that receiving ability, I mean that really opens things up. So if they can get Troutman to where he needs to be, or they get another tight end this offseason and Van Ness slotted where he should be, I think it's a nice luxury. It's like Garrett Griffin makes some catches and stuff too, but like if you have like Garrett Griffin's blocking ability and he's a good receiver, like that's what Nick Van Ness kind of
That's
is
kind of
right
what he
now. Yeah.
is.
So
Yeah. Yep.
so I think that's a good luxury for them. And I think he's looked really good. And I think he's been a nice little surprise for them.
Yeah.
Coming down the stretch, Troutman goes out, you kind of wondering what's gonna happen at tight end. And I think that he's maybe elevated it a little bit. I mean, it's a couple games, you got to keep going, but I think he's maybe elevated it in those couple games.
Yeah. He's acquainted himself well with just to the team. It kind of just made me think again, like, man, it would have been nice to see this team, full strength, just because, it's the big what if season. I always wonder. It's kind of like the 2011 season. It's kind of like one of those years where you just, you kind of wonder what would have happened. This would have been a fun team to watch if they had all their guns. And he's definitely someone who, this past week I was paying a lot more attention to. So, yeah, hopefully he gets going well. This is, I think this is Harris's. Was this his first or second game that he missed? But I think this was his first.
Yeah, I'll tell
Or
you, yeah, first one.
yeah, this is first one. Yeah. Man, these weeks are running together. Yeah, so you're not going to get him the reinforcements in the form of him for another couple of weeks. So anyone that steps up at this point, that's an absolute plus. So shout out to him. Someone who I am a little more disappointed in, and I expected more from him, was Anyamata. I haven't. I don't. I'm not sure. What's going on. I think he's a better player than what we're seeing. I don't know if being missing the first 6 games has kind of gotten him up to a slow start. I saw him active a couple of plays this past week, but yeah, he just hasn't been the impact player that that I guess I expected him to be when he returning from his suspension. So what do you think is going on there, or am I just wrong? Is he playing well? And inside players sometimes we don't really see their impact sometimes because they're inside. So what do you think is going on with him?
I don't think it's been where it was last year to this point. Maybe that's some of the who's available, what people are being asked to do and all that. I think that probably plays a part. But I mean, just in general though, it's been a little bit of a step back. Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit of a step back from last year. So I mean, that's just kind of where it's at. And again, I think when everybody's out there, things look a little bit better. But I just don't think that he's been as dominant as he was a year ago. And I mean, that's just the film shows that, the numbers show that. It's just kind of where it's at right now. And let me answer this one real quick.
Yeah.
So you were probably working today and didn't notice this, but
I saw it after the fact and I was like, oh gosh, what did Nick do?
Yeah. So the tweet, yeah, I was responding to something. It went out there public, just saying that Pelicans Twitter was going to be lit up. Look, I mean, I heard something. I think at some point somebody will probably hear it and report it. Just kind of, I don't think it's like a major deal. Just a little more detail on. I'm not trying to report anything, so I'm not even like trying to get out there with it. I just think there's a health related piece of news that will eventually come out and people will react to it, and that's it. I mean, it's not like it's not changing anything necessarily. It's just, at some point, probably, I'm assuming somebody will hear something and it'll go out there. But I'm not a Pelicans reporter. I don't have the means to verify Pelicans information. We had a social media snafu. It happens, and we're moving on.
I'll talk to you after the pod.
No, I ain't saying nothing to nobody, man. It was
you say something to me.
It was a little bit of a little social media snafu. I mean, it happens. It happens. I mean, it's not the first time that I've. It's just.
You don't understand the power in that tweet button, bro.
No, I do, and I'm a.
Great power comes great responsibility, man.
Yeah, but I'm not like trying to be like, I'm not trying to step out of I have my lane. I'm very comfortable in my lane. I'm not trying to step out of my lane.
I've seen you break news from other non-NFL news, but I've seen you pass NFL.
Well, the energy scoop, sure. We had the energy scoop earlier this year. But look, I wasn't I wasn't trying to say nothing. Like it just
I know. I've seen you pass some scoops to other people though. Like, just
but I mean but that's not me trying to.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying, man, you could turn the whole city upside down with one tweet. So don't ever get hacked and watch what you tweet and we're gonna be good.
Yeah, but look, I'm not someone that's like, I don't need to be out there. I don't take chances in my reporting as is.
Yeah, that's true. I can.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million. There's more stuff I haven't reported that I knew and I was 98% sure, and you don't put it out there.
I remember you had the Sean Payton hire before it went public, and you kind of sat on that. Remember
the what?
The Sean Payton hire.
The Sean Payton hire. Come on, man. No. Oh, speaking of, like, did you watch the trailer for the movie, The Hometown?
I'm watching it, bro. I'm watching it.
Did you see the trailer?
It's kind of goofy. Yeah, it's kind of goofy.
It's kind of goofy.
It's kind of goofy. It's kind of goofy. It's really goofy.
Did you see the tweet that they were trying to say? Like, the one person was like, "You don't even like recognize Kevin James." Like, that's Kevin James in a Saints visor, bro. Like, he is. They said he's hardly recognizable. Like, are you serious? Like, that looks exactly like him in every movie.
Exactly like he looks. He's a bigger Sean Payton.
He had the squint down a little bit. The Sean has that like that squinting look. He had that down a little bit.
Look. Some of the stuff was interesting, like the whole Connor stuff, right? I don't know, like I've never heard anything about that, so I'm guessing Sean vetted that out or whatever. That was interesting. I don't know, man. I don't have any expectations of it. I'm just gonna watch it and hopefully laugh, and we'll come in here and spend 5 minutes and talk about it. Yeah, that's all we got.
Like the projectile vomiting at the end of the trailer, like I wasn't necessarily like super into that, but I mean,
that was kind of like unnecessary. And the bad part about the reason I don't like that is because my wife cannot be in the presence of someone throwing up.
Yeah, well, nobody
can. She can't. No. It's different, bro. It's different. Like, it's a bad situation. So I'm like, okay, during this scene, I got to get her face up off the screen and tell her to look at Marley or something, because it's going to be bad. So we struggle with movies anyway. So we find a good comedy, we got to look at it. But That part got to go. But that was a little weird. I feel like someone kind of overwrote the movie at that point. Let's get.
There was a little Goodell shot too at the beginning. Like
I'm for that.
the woman didn't know. Like, yeah, that was a nice little subtle shot.
A little dig.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll
dig.
watch a movie. I mean,
yeah, I mean, we'll watch it. I mean, maybe we get Sean on here and kind of give him some interviews. We interview
I
him
don't think
about
he's
it.
going to be
Man.
doing interviews on this movie.
Yeah. Like, how did you piss off Connor? was the Mark Ingram pick his gift for the little separation y'all had? He had the hey man, Connor got Mark here, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, the father son aspect of it will be interesting. Again, I don't know what's like actually true and like what's just based on or whatnot, but it'll be interesting to kind of see like what's in there and maybe. Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be like a super deep movie though.
I hope it's not because I don't like deep movies, to be honest with you. I'm very shallow, just comedies, sci-fi. That's it, man. I'm a simple guy. So I know you got you're a complicated movie watcher. Rocky 1 through 20.
I mean, those aren't complicated movies, man.
I know, but I'm just saying in general, like you'll watch like you watch all these movies, they all be all complex and stuff. But so anyway, just kind of back to the game. If you had to pick who do you think played best on defense this game?
I think it was Marshawn. I don't even really think it's I don't think that there's another entry, man. Honestly, he was outstanding in this game, and a couple in a row now. He seems to be getting back in that groove a little bit, and to see him play like that against the Jets, when that's Moore's not out there. I mean, it's a very easy game to be complacent in. Really, the defense as a whole not being complacent. And look, I think this game right here is like a good example of, people talk about tanking or whatever, and this game is a good example of like why you can't do that. Like you look at how hard these players are playing and fighting against a bad team in a game where it'd be very easy to play down to your level of competition. Like they were killing it. They were killing it. Yeah, you can't do that. And look, I'm not I've said this before. Like I understand in totality the thought process of people that want them to tank and okay, they aren't going to win the Super Bowl, so get a top 10 pick. And yeah, sure, that makes sense. And I understand that thought process 100%. But it's just, look, I mean, for this team, like post Drew Brees, and Andrew Juge was tweeting about this earlier, and I agree with it like completely. Like it's kind of crazy that, winning a playoff game is like become this thing where like it's just like that's not enough and it's not worth it for people. And man, I hope this team returns to the point where it's Super Bowl or bust every single year. I like covering that type of team. I like writing about those expectations. I think it's more interesting when you can hold a team to like a certain standard and everything. But to be at that point is, it's special and it's rare. And
some teams don't get there. Look at the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, some teams never get there. So absolutely.
And I'm not trying to tell anyone like how to be a fan or what they should want as a fan of the team or anything like that. I'm just saying that like winning a playoff game isn't easy. And if they win a playoff game with this team, like that would be crazy. And I understand like they aren't going to win the Super Bowl. And what does it actually mean in the grand scheme of things? I don't know, probably nothing really. But I mean, that's a good place to end your season. It'd be a good place to have momentum, even to get in, to the playoffs with this team like that. Yeah. It's just a good note to be on, going into the offseason, post Breeze, make the playoffs. I don't know, psychologically, I think there's an edge there. But, like, I do get it. I mean, picking in the top 10, getting a good player, you still got to scout well, you still got to draft well, and, all that stuff matters too.
Yeah,
what were we talking about? I didn't mean to take us.
No. I think we was talking about Marshawn playing well. We'll whatever. We'll get back to that if we need to. But just to that point, it's funny. I was watching the game, and if you think about it long term, and maybe long term being next season, like you can make a case for it being better that they lose these games, but I also think you can make a case that it's better that they win on some level too, right? Because I just think it's something to be said about like being competitive and just trying not to lose. I don't know how to really explain it, right? But you're a team and you're basically down to third stringers in a lot of positions, right? I don't even know who the other defensive end is at certain point. I think they got Onyemata rushing out there at times. And so, yeah, I mean, just the fact that, like I was looking at DeMario before the game, and I was like, man, these guys ain't. I mean, tanking it would be an insult. Like, I really feel like it would be like you might get fought, right? if something like that came up. And so, yeah, I think that's the personality of this team, and you can't want a team to tank and lose and have them be competitive as they are. You can't have it both ways, right? It's just you can't turn that switch off, right? You can't tell a guy that's a competitor to go out there and try to lose a game for some guy who's still in college who you don't even know exists yet, right? It's just it's hard to do. And so, yeah, I do think it was good to see, them come out and play like that. I wouldn't blame is the wrong word, but I could understand the thought process of someone who is a fan who wanted them to have a higher pick. As someone who roots for the Saints myself, it's impossible for me to, like, I can say right now, it'd be better if they lost, 2 of the next 4, 3 of the next 4, right? Pick wise. But when I'm watching those games, it's impossible. I cannot root for them. Even if it was the number 1 pick, I couldn't root for them to lose just because it goes against everything. So just seeing them to come out there and compete like that, I just think it says a lot about the team. And so, I understand the thought process behind some people saying they want them to tank, because I think the higher the pick, the better, right? I mean, I think we mentioned this on the post-game pod where, I mean, listen, we know the big name out there that everyone's talking about, right? Russell Wilson. If you want Russell Wilson, if you got a top 10 pick, then maybe that's 2 ones and a 2 instead of 3 ones, right? That's a better situation to be in. So I get the thought process that people have, but it's hard to do it like when you're in the moment and watching them play.
Yeah, no, you just can't. Like we've said it a million times. You just can't ask them to quit. You just can't. You can't. You lose them. You lose them. I mean, it's easy to say, and it's easy to be like, well, you just tell them to flip the switch and like don't take it personal. But like, it's hard not to
impossible,
take it personal. Yeah, I mean, they're all in on this season. A lot of these guys, they don't know what the future is going to hold, how many more seasons they're going to have, and all that. And
right.
And again, I don't think there's that when you're in it, you think you can probably win every game, and I don't think it's wrong of them to think that they can win every game.
Yep.
Because they've beaten good teams, and they got a good team.
They're naive enough to think that they can beat every team, which is that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. I mean, you can't tell Demario Davis to give a pregame speech and then tank,
right?
Or you're gonna say Demario don't give the speech this week because we're trying not to win. Like, I just don't think it's. I just don't think it's I don't think it's possible, right? I will say though, and you can just move on to the next topic about this, but I think Russ out of there this year, bro. I'm just being real. I don't think that guy's gonna be in Seattle next year. I think he's out of there. Now where he goes, we'll see. But I just don't see a scenario. That team is rebuilding, right? I don't think he wants to be part of that. Pete Carroll is like 70 something years old, 71, 72. I don't see him wanting to be part of a rebuild. They have no picks. They can't draft. They have no talent on that team. Like, I don't think Russ wants anything to do with them. He's out of there. I just think it's a matter of like, where is he going, right? Because they have no assets, nothing. Like they use their picks on a freaking strong safety who's a linebacker, right? And they paid him. So I definitely think that relationship is over. It's just a matter of what team he ends up on. So that's my Russ Wilson
I don't
take.
know anything about it.
Yeah, that's my Russ Wilson take. Just a couple of more things on the game. Again, I know I'm gonna have to quit this at some point, but Marcus Williams is a good player, and that's it. We don't need to go nowhere else there. Someone else who played well. I looked at some more of the defense on a semi-second watch of the game, and I thought Davenport had a few snaps that are really good. I think we counted 6 pressures. I think that's the number that I kind of came up with. I was talking to someone on Twitter about him, and I was like, I think the talent question is kind of, I think we know what he is. He's a good player, not a great player. I think health is the only question at this point with him, but I think he is the best pass rusher on this team. I think he's solidified himself in that spot, and I do think things will get better. If you have Cam Jordan, Onyemata, Passanio, and Davenport out there and I don't know how many times we've seen that this season, but I do think, if they can get those guys back, I do think you can start to see something, closer to a real pass rush, because I don't think they have it right now.
Yeah, I thought he played pretty good. I mean, he had a couple dominant snaps, and that's just kind of who he is. I mean, that's who he is as a player. I'm going to be interested to see, like, if he could. I would love to know what the valuation of him is, like, from other teams, because like the talent, I think you can value it pretty high. The availability is an issue. It'll be interesting. Like, I would love to see him just for a curiosity, like a pure curiosity standpoint, for him to like have a healthy season and hit the market and just kind of see like where it comes back at without, so there's at least like a little, the bidding aspect of it kind of sets the market value.
Yes.
And
Someone would pay that guy, man. He's 25. He's 25.
he'd
right?
have to do it for a year though. But like, I just wonder.
Well, you
like,
said if he's healthy for a whole year. That's what I was saying. Like,
is that enough? Is that enough? Like, is that enough to get you where you want to go? Because I think someone could talk themselves into paying him like a lot of money. Like,
I think he would make money on the open market, and
Yeah.
based on his talent, it makes sense, right? And to your point, if he has a whole year where he's healthy and he doesn't have any like major injuries, it's just like little lingering stuff, right? I mean, as guys get older, they learn how to take care of their body better, et cetera. I don't know, man. I don't know what the guy's going to do. DeMario's turned into Superman later into his career, right? I remember the player from Justin Smith from the Niners became a animal late in his career, right? And so he kind of has like a similar. I could see him having a similar career arc. So
I could see it either way.
yeah, I mean, listen, if I don't think he is ideally. How do I say this? I don't think he's a guy that is the only good rusher on the team is going to be super effective. I just think due to the nature of how he rushes, right? He rushes with power. He's going to push the pocket. I think he would be better paired with someone that like, was maybe like one of those twitched up guys that can get there a little bit quicker. But someone would pay that guy. I know there's enough snaps on film where him just dominating people that some coach is going to say, man, if you give me this guy, I'll take him and run with him. And I would understand it. And I don't think the Saints can let him leave. One, because of what you invested in him. Two, he's going to be your. I mean, Cam isn't getting any younger and he's not getting any better. So who's going to rush the passer? I just don't. It's not like he's a bad player. He's just an injured player who, is not the most consistent. But he's kind of all you got. If you let him go, then what's your options? Peyton Turner and Carl Granderson. That's not. I don't think that's going to work out. So I think he kind of probably is going to have the leverage when it's contract time. When you think about it, I could see them try maybe extending him a little earlier or something. So that'd be an interesting contract, though. I would really be interested to see what that contract is, because I don't. I think the Hill contract was. I'm not a big fan of that Taysom contract. I think they was bidding against themselves. So with this one, it'd be interesting to see like what that thought process looks like for this next one. So. What else you got, man? What else you got?
I don't got a whole lot, man.
You got a nice door behind you. You got a nice door behind you. You also have a few good sponsors. Daniel Sant CPA. If you guys need a CPA, make sure you go holler at. I called him Mr. Sant, and Nick looked at me like he was crazy. Then I understood why, because I was like, I think we're the same age. And then Firehouse Subs, guys. You guys heard the spiel about those guys, the good things they do in the community. And if you need if you need to gamble, sponsors here on NewOrleans.Football, man. So go check it out. So if you're not subscribed, go check us out. As I told you guys, that there's a couple of articles on the site right now about the Jets game, and that game was like 2 days ago, right? So all the information you need is there. There's going to be some more articles coming up. Of course, you guys know that we have the pregame pod that we record the Friday before Sunday games. And we also have a post-game pod that we tend to record at weird times, but it always goes out. I don't think we've missed a post-game pod this whole year. And so that's a testament to us. I'm bragging myself a little bit. So the Saints play the Bucks this Sunday. It is in Tampa, and it is the late game. So you guys don't drink too much before the game. So with that said, man, thank you guys for supporting us. We will see you next week. We out.